A very pleasant morning to all of you children. How are you all? Hope you all are enjoying at home. At the same time, you also need to watch the videos at least, isn't it? We are sending only 3 videos per day, and hope all of you are certainly watching the videos. And as part of that, we have already started our fourth lesson in biology. In the previous video, I had explained about the urinary system. Okay, and what are the different parts of the urinary system in human being? What are those? Can you recollect? Yes. Okay, they are a pair of kidneys. Okay, and what else? Ureters, a pair of ureters. Yes. Then urinary bladder, then renal artery, renal vein, urinary bladder, and urethra. And before getting into that, once again I just remind you, I am your Radhika teacher at the Dr. Wilson School. Okay, so here in this we have studied about the different parts of the urinary system. So today we shall be studying about the internal structure. In the previous video I have shown the 3D model of the urinary system. The kidney, isn't it? I told that the renal pyramids, all those are there. So first I would like to draw the diagram on the board. Then I shall explain about the kidney, internal structure of the kidney, that is the LS of the kidney, or the longitudinal section of the kidney. So you all need to draw the diagram along with me. So all of you keep your pencil and stationery and the running notes and textbook ready. Okay children, so here we shall start with the diagram. So here the kidney, as I said, is bean shaped, dark colored, and we see that the outer part is darker than the inner part. So here I have drawn the kidney. So this bent portion that is there, that is called as the hilum. Okay, that is called as the hilum. Okay, here we have seen. Now, okay, so here also I just to show that kidney. You see, the kidney is approximately 10 centimeters in length, 5 to 6 centimeters in the breadth, and 4 centimeters in thickness. Okay, as I told, it is present in the abdominal region, in the lower abdomen. So here I shall draw these pyramid-like structures. Okay, those pyramid-like structures are actually called as renal pyramids. Okay, they are called as the renal pyramids. So this outer part that you can see, this is the cortex. Here I draw many such renal pyramids. You all have to draw with me. Okay, I just rub it off and draw. Okay. I just reset a bit. See, each such pyramid would be containing the unit structure, that is, they are the nephrons. So altogether there are around 1.3 to 1.8 nephrons. They are all microscopic structures, so small, isn't it? The size of these is pretty small, but they are the units of the kidney, which are able to filter the urine. Okay, as we understand the structure of that, you will understand very well how they are able to filter, how the blood passes through them, and how we are able to how the kidneys are able to filter that. Okay, so like this we can find there are some millions and millions. So simply with these lines I am representing, but actually they are much more well okay, distributed and much thicker. Okay, so this is only the representation. Now in between that we can find the such extensions which are called as the calyces. These are called as the calyces, major calyces and minor calyces. Okay, so here we can see that. Now we can see that the urinary, the renal vein. Okay, here we can see that the renal vein would be coming out. We can see the branches. So all the venules will join together to form the renal vein. Okay, here you can see those. This is the renal vein, a branch of the renal vein. Then I draw the renal arteriole also. Just like the renal vein. Okay. But the renal artery would be entering into that. Okay, the renal artery is entering into the kidney carrying the impure blood for filtration, whereas the renal vein would be carrying the purified blood from the kidneys to the outside. Okay, that is the major difference between the two. Okay, children. So why you should get a doubt why I said that renal artery which is carrying the waste, but the artery is also carrying the oxygenated blood. That's why it is entering into the kidneys. Okay, whereas the renal vein is carrying the deoxygenated blood. So the major difference between the two, we know that the arteries carry the oxygenated blood and the veins carry the deoxygenated blood. So like that also you can remember here easily. Okay, children. So here I have drawn a branch of these renal arteries and the renal veins. You all need to draw along with me. Are you all drawing along with me? Okay, I hope that you all are drawing. So here I have drawn that. Next, what else I have forgotten there? Can you remember? Yes, it is the pair of the ureter. Okay, I have not drawn the ureter. So here I have drawn the ureter. So this ureter is collecting the urine from the renal, from the pelvis region. Okay, and coming out, and it joins the urinary bladder. Okay, so this is this region where these all are coming and joining. See, you can see this. Okay, very good. So here you can see this part. Gets to collect that. So now we shall label the different parts of that. Okay, they are the outer cortex. So what is it? It is the internal structure of kidney. Already I have given that. So this is the outer cortex. Okay. Next, inner part is the medulla region. This is the medulla region. Medulla. Then we have got the ureter. I shall label. Okay. Then we have got the nephrons. These structures that I have shown, that I can represent as nephron. Okay. Then we have got the renal artery, renal vein, the renal artery, and this is the renal vein. Renal artery and renal vein. Okay. Now, apart from that, you should also label the callus. So those are the calyces. Okay, children. So I can show one more calyx also there. Okay, so these two are the calyces. Like this, these are the major, minor calyces. This and this will be the major calyx. Both, all of them will join here. So this region is called as the pelvis. That is called as pelvis. So here once again I repeat. So this is the outer darker portion I said, that is the cortex, and the middle region where you can see all these pyramids, that is the medulla. Then you can see the center part, that is the pelvis. Okay. So now each pyramid, all these pyramids contain many millions and millions of nephrons. Okay, so here 1.3 to 1.8 million nephrons are there in the kidney, and all these nephrons will join here to form the collecting ducts. Those collecting ducts will open into the calyces. I have labeled these calyces now. So from the calyces, that urine will enter into the pelvis, and from there the urine will be collected by the ureters, and the renal artery brings the impure blood, and it will branch out to join all these nephrons. These millions of nephrons are connected by the renal arterioles. Okay, and once the blood enters into the nephron, there the filtration occurs, and after the filtration, the purified blood would be collected by the renal venule. That in turn comes out as the renal vein. Understood? So this is the complete structure of a kidney. So please complete the diagram. I give 2 minutes to you all. Okay, have you all completed? Very good. Next we shall go to the structure, that is the nephron, or the each such structure. Okay, that is there. They are nothing but the nephrons, the unit structure of every, say that, because these are the ones wherein the filtration would be occurring. So within the nephrons only the filtration occurs. Okay, so how they are, and each one how they appear. Okay, these nephrons, another name for that means the uniparous tubules. So here I shall show the diagram of one such nephron. You all can see the diagram with the help of the chart I show, then I give the diagram. First with the help of the chart I shall explain. Okay, so this is a typical diagram of a nephron. Okay, so you can see that this whole thing is one such nephron. Very pretty complicated it appears, isn't it? So here you can see that this is a nephron. Here you can see a branch of the arteriole, efferent arteriole, that is entering into the nephron, and this one is the blue colored one, that is the efferent venule. Okay, that is coming outside. Okay, efferent or arcuate venule vein, and all that we are not concerned. So here what happens? What are the different parts of the nephron? See here you can see one cup-like structure. Can you all find or not? So that cup-like structure is called as the Bowman's capsule, and from there you can see that a long, this white colored, pale white colored tube. Can you see? Forget about the blue or reddish colored tubules. What are those tubes? I will explain. You can see this pale colored one, pale white colored one tube passing throughout this, isn't it? So it forms a U-like structure here, hairpin structure here. Can you see, all of you? See, it is arising from the Bowman's capsule. Can you all see this pale colored structure? Can you all see? So here you can see this pale colored structure that enters, okay, and it comes outside, and here it folds, it undergoes some folds, then it forms a long U-pin or the hairpin structure. Then again it undergoes many folds, and further it joins into a long branch structure. Okay, so what is this? Just a minute. See now, you are able to identify easily. Okay, so here you can see this pale colored structure. So this whole thing, this cup-like structure that is there. So what it is made up of? It is made up of a Malpighian body and a Malpighian tubule. The tube-like structure and one the cup-like structure. So this is the Malpighian body, or it is also called as the Bowman's capsule, and this is the tubule. Okay, Malpighian tubule or nephric tubule. This in turn will contain many parts. So the first we are coming to the this one the Bowman's capsule. So it is just like a cup, outer cup. Okay, here I just focus. See all of you. See, can you all see now very clear? Yes. So this is the Bowman's capsule. Okay. So this Bowman's capsule, how do you see? When we remove the outer layer, you can see that there are many tubules. Okay, many tube-like structures, or they are nothing but small, just like a mesh. How we have got mesh in the tea filter, like that. It is a mesh-like structure. Can you all see? So this mesh-like structure is called as the Bowman's capsule. Okay, this is the Bowman's capsule. The thing that is nothing but the filter. That is nothing but the mesh of blood capillaries. See here, one more diagram is there. So that structure, once you see, then I will go to the tubule part. See here, can you all see very clear? Okay. Here you can see that how it is entering. See this red colored one that is there. You can see this is the efferent arteriole that is coming outside. Okay, one is there, that is efferent. Efferent A comes first. Efferent arteriole is entering into the glomerulus. So this is the outer cup-like structure. Okay, and inside that you can find this mesh-like structure, isn't it? Excuse me. That mesh-like structure is nothing but containing the blood capillaries. Already we have discussed what are blood capillaries. So those blood capillaries are very well branched and they form a mesh-like structure inside this cup-like structure. So that outer cup-like structure is the Bowman's capsule. Inside that, these blood capillaries are forming the glomerulus, okay, or the glomerular capillary. They are forming the glomerulus. Okay, now from there, after the filtration, one branch has entered into that and one branch is coming out as efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole has entered and the one which is coming out is called as efferent arteriole. Now apart from that, you can see that the glomerulus is there, and surrounding that you can see many such branches of podocytes. Podocytes are nothing but the cells. Okay, the branches of the fine cells which are made up of squamous, simple squamous epithelium. Okay, why they are needed? They are very thin and they help in the filtration. For that, they are present. Later, while explaining the urine formation, I should be explaining in a much better way. So here you can see that this is a Bowman's capsule. Then you can see this long tubule that is arising. Can you all see this long tubule that is coming outside? Okay, so this is the Malpighian tubule. Okay, so the first part that is arising from the Bowman's capsule, that is called as the PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Only consider this white colored one, not the red colored one. Okay, so this one that is coming out of this and this branches, you can see this part only. This is called as the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal is something nearby. Okay, so nearer to the Bowman's capsule. Okay, so it is called as proximal convoluted tubule. Then it goes down to form this bend, U-shaped bend. Can you see? So this U-shaped bend is called as loop of Henle or Henle's loop. This Henle's loop is also, as it is there, we can divide into parts. Okay, the one which is going down, that will be called as ascending limb. The one which is going, okay, the one which is this part is called as the ascending limb. The one which is coming this side, that is called as a descending limb. Ascending limb and descending limb. Now after that, this one will further, you can see many folds are there in this region, isn't it? All those folds together, this whole region is called as the DCT, or it is called as the distal convoluted tubule. Okay, this is proximal. Whatever is there after the Bowman's capsule, that is PCT, near this, the end of the tubule, that is called as the DCT. Okay, or the distal convoluted tubule. This distal convoluted tubule will enter into this long branch as if it is a tree's branch, isn't it? So it is joining that. So this long branch-like structure is called as the collecting duct. This is called as the collecting duct. Okay, the collecting duct will collect the urine from this nephron and take it outside. So what are the parts? That is Bowman's capsule. Inside the glomerulus, one is afferent arteriole, one is efferent arteriole. Then we can see the PCT, Henle's loop, DCT and collecting duct. Okay children. So I shall be drawing the same thing again on the board. So just a minute. Just a minute, children. One second. I just some problem is there with this. Yes. So now it is focused back. Uh, so I have explained about the nephron, isn't it? So this nephron, as I said, it is the unit. So first I shall explain about the different parts. So before that, just go into the textbook. You can see the structure of the nephron. Okay, as I told, it is made up of the Malpighian body, Malpighian tubule, or renal tubule. Malpighian body and renal tubule. So the Malpighian body contains a cup-like structure, okay, within which a fine network of capillaries are there. So that fine network of capillaries are called as glomerulus, and that outer cup-like structure is called as a Bowman's capsule. Okay, and I told that one will enter, the efferent arteriole will enter and efferent arteriole will come outside. Okay, now I shall give the diagram of the nephron to you all. Please draw the diagram of nephron. So hope you all have drawn this one. Just check whether you have drawn or not. Okay, I am rubbing it off. I quickly draw the diagram of the nephron, or I shall just see here. I shall draw the diagram of nephron. Please complete the diagram along with me. Here first I draw, this is a pretty complicated one, but I make it very simplified for you all so that you don't have any problem. So first I am drawing the Bowman's capsule. Observe carefully. See, this is the Bowman's capsule. From there I have drawn the proximal convoluted tubule. That in turn again further I am drawing the loop of Henle. Okay. This is the loop of Henle. In higher classes you shall be studying better. Okay. So like this you can draw. From here you can see the, okay, this is the loop of Henle. Here you can see the last part of that, that is the distal convoluted tubule. So it joins a long tube-like structure, and the tube-like structure, that is the collecting duct. Okay, so all these connections are showing that it is joining to many more nephrons, because millions of them are there. Only one collecting duct will not collect from one nephron, but from many it would be collecting like that. Okay, so here I have shown the Bowman's capsule. I will complete the diagram. Okay, now inside this I shall draw the glomerulus. I shall represent with the red color. Okay, so as I told, one branch will come into it as efferent arteriole. It comes into this Bowman's capsule as efferent arteriole, and here it forms a fine network of capillaries, and one it goes outside as efferent. Efferent will enter inside and efferent will come outside. For you to easily understand, A efferent starts with A. Okay, so the A means efferent arteriole which enters. Okay, A as it is comes first in the alphabet, isn't it? So think that A always enters so that you will not have any kind of a confusion. Okay, children, so here we can see a fine network of capillaries, and those capillaries are called as the glomerulus. Okay. Now, what happens to this efferent? It doesn't stop there. It will be further branching out and forms a fine network of capillaries. It forms a fine network of capillaries, and those capillaries are called as peritubular network or peritubular capillaries. Okay, that means they are present all along the this one nephron. They are present. Okay, they are present just like a creeper. How it would be creeping around a tree completely like that. They would be creeping completely around that. Okay, children. So they would be creeping completely all together like this. So as you observe, you can find a fine network. So you can draw this in whichever order you want. Okay. There is no problem of drawing in a particular way only. You ultimately have to show a fine network, that's all. You have to show a fine network. They are pretty thin. Capillaries means how thin they are. So they form a fine network of capillaries. And why the capillaries are there? So that the filtration can occur. Easily the substances could be transported across each other. Okay, easily the substances could be transported across each other. For that they are like that. So here you can see the peritubular network. Okay, as if it is folded all around that. For your understanding, you can just keep drawing just as if a rope is wound around that. Then it becomes easy for you to draw the diagram in very less time. Okay, like this you can see. So here see. Can you see how I have connected? As if the rope is there, like that I have tried to connect it. So it is present throughout the region. Okay, this whole region it is present, and it comes outside as, and it would be okay. And here you can see that it would be joining like this. Okay, now it could be coming out here. One of the branches could be coming out as the peritubular network would be coming out from this as the different. It would be joining the venule. It would be joining the venule. Understood? So now I shall be labeling the parts. So have you drawn this? You are able to identify. So for your better understanding, I just color this part. The part of this one, the tubule. Okay, the nephron. So that the red colored one you can make out easily. So this is the Bowman's capsule, which is continuing as proximal convoluted tubule, then Henle's loop, distal convoluted tubule, and then the collecting duct. You should be thorough with this part. Each and every student in the class, very important 4 marks question, the diagram as well as the urine formation. Okay, whatever steps I will be teaching, you all have to learn. Okay, anyway, first you have to learn the diagram thoroughly. Okay, children. So here you see this one. Can you all see? Now it is pretty clear, I think, if I have colored this one. Okay. You can use the pencil to color this, shade this one for your understanding. Even for the exam also it is alright if you color only with the pencil. So here you have completed this Henle's loop. Now I have come to the distal convoluted tubule or the DCT. Okay, children. Here it is this one. Okay. Now pretty easy for us to remember, identify and remember, isn't it? Okay, so like this we can see the nephron. Now here one important thing is that the efferent arteriole, the one which will be entering into this will be narrower, and the one which is going out will be the efferent arteriole, efferent will be wider and efferent will be narrower. Okay, why it is like that we shall be studying later. Okay, now this is a typical nephron. I shall label the parts. So this whole thing together it is called as the Malpighian body. It is called as Malpighian body. It is called as Malpighian body. Okay, now this is called as the efferent arteriole, a branch of the efferent arteriole. Okay, this part is called as the glomerulus. Okay, this is called as the Bowman's capsule, and the name for that is Bowman's capsule. Okay, next one is, this one is efferent arteriole. This one that is coming outside, that is called as efferent. Here I write efferent, efferent and efferent. Efferent is coming out, efferent is entering. Efferent arteriole, understood? Okay, next one is the first part of the tubule, that is the first convoluted tubule or the PCT. This part that is coming from the Bowman's capsule first time, that is called as the first convoluted tubule. Tubule or proximal convoluted tubule. It is also called as proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, children. Next one. This last part that is there, that is called as the second convoluted tubule. Second convoluted tubule, or another name for that is DCT or distal, another name is distal convoluted tubule. Okay, and this one is the collecting duct. This is called as a collecting duct. Okay, next one is loop of Henle or Henle's loop. Loop of Henle. Okay, and this fine network of capillaries that I have shown, that is called as the peritubular network. Okay, or capillary network. We can call that as peritubular network, or another name is capillary network. Capillary network. Okay. So here we see that this one will open into the pelvis. Here structure of nephron. This is called structure of nephron. Okay, so what are the different parts? The Bowman's capsule, inside that the glomerulus, then the PCT, then loop of Henle, DCT, collecting that. First complete the diagram, then briefly I'll explain the parts again. Okay, so you have understood the, you have seen the diagram. Please copy the diagram. In the next video, I shall be explaining how it helps in the formation of urine. Before that, you have seen the, this is called as the Bowman's capsule, glomerulus consisting of a fine network of capillaries. The efferent arteriole enters and the efferent arteriole comes out and it forms a fine network of capillaries all around the tubule. And this tubule, the first part of that is called as the PCT or the first convoluted tubule. Then it further moves and forms a hairpin-like structure that is called as the loop of Henle. Then it further moves up and further undergoes many foldings or turns, that is called as the second convoluted tubule or distal convoluted tubule. Now this will join into a long tubular structure that is called as the collecting duct. Okay, and then you have got this peritubular network. Okay, so this is the complete structure of the nephron, and this contains many squamous, simple squamous epithelial cells. Those are called as the podocytes. So in the next video, we shall be studying about the function of the nephron, how the urine formation would be occurring. Okay, children. So please complete the diagram in the notebook and send the images to me. Thank you, children.